Yes, don't worry, buddy. Seriously, though. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the one, the only, the Azothan, and we are back with more custom craft Azeroth Wars. Azeroth Wars, of course, being a mass war map set in the Warcraft 3 engine just before the events of the Third War, where 12 players will take control of the various factions who took part in this conflict and attempt to struggle for victory against their foes. Today, we're going to go ahead and introduce our characters. We have Sekun in the red trunks, controlling the forces of the undead. He has Anub'arak, Kel'Thuzad, and Baron Rivendare. Anub'arak operating out of Northrend, and the other two operating out of Skullmancer. In the blue trunks, we have Foe. Foe is controlling the Burning Legion and will control the Dreadlords Mal'Ganis and Tychondrius. Akabeth, in the teal trunks, will be forced to fight his two enemies down south, both the dwarves of Ironforge and the humans of Erethdor. He will have Mag Theridin in Outland and Lord Chief Kargath Bladefist already assaulting Netherguard Keep. Rend Blackhand will operate outside of Blackrock Fortress. In the yellow trunks, his opponent, Y2 Jericho, will be controlling the dwarves. He has Bronn Bronzebeard and King Magnai Bronzebeard, both in charge of fending off this early game push against the Fellhordes from Blackrock. In his team as well, we have the dark green player, Tempest. Tempest has control of Bolvar Fordragon and King Varian Rin, operating out of Stormwind. I can't believe I already scrolled down. The game doesn't have an auto zoom out function. Yes, okay. Looks like he's already lost Netherguard Keep and has spent quite a bit of money on the effort to hold it. That's going to be a bit of a loss for him. His next best bet would be try to defend the bridge leading to Darkshire and try to creep Stranglethorn Vale as quickly as he can and take advantage of all the creep gold that exists here. In the north, we should have immediately gone from red and blue to their enemies, but the three-team ally of the North Alliance consists of Anders, an old-school player. He has Uther the Lightbringer and Arthas Menethil. They'll be trying to resist the undead plague alongside the demonic invasion with the help of their ally, Pac-Man, in the orange trunks controlling Dalaran. Archmage Antonius and Jaina Proudmoore will lead their charge. Lone Wolf 3-8 is in the green trunks, and he controls the forces of the High Elves. The High Elves will have to wipe out the Trolls in 12 the Lost before they're able to help their allies, but as soon as they can, they'll need to move down south with a group of healers and try to support their allies as much as they can. They're a backline support race, so it's important that he not die and also make sure he uses his Magus to chain heal his allies. It's annoying how much that is just your job in the very beginning of the game. Now that we've covered most of the Western Kingdoms, Eastern Kingdoms, let's move over to the Western Kingdoms. I was like, why is it frozen up here? Oh, but that's just because our brown player, Lirenval, will be controlling the Druids. Now, it seems he's already lost Fandral Staghelm. I'm not sure if that was intentional, but some people decided to lose him since he is located far down south and doesn't help in the initial fight for Ashenvale and can often soak up experience or serve as feed for your opponents. Alright, now our brown player will move into Felwood. No, he killed... What the fuck? Okay, Fandral died, and now he's back, and... looks like Unguro is already being creeped by our brown player, and it may have just been that Fandral Staghelm was an accidental casualty in that fight. Now, Chandra's Feathermoon and Tyrande Whisperwind are both going to be on the Sentinels team. The Sentinels are controlled by our player Act in the light blue trunks. Now, Tyrande Whisperwind will be functioning out of Ashenvale. God, there's so many places and names. Ashenvale, attempting to stop the Trolls from pushing in early. See, the Night Elves have a little bit of advantage here because the Horde has to travel to Kalimdor first before they're able to actually engage or set up any kind of a base. It looks like they might be being a little bit slow about it as well. Let's check on their enemies. 6A-TGI-Net. I watched him in a game earlier. Rexar, Rokon, and Grommash Hellscream have all, as of yet, to start moving. You can see Grommash at his crashed ship location here with the human ships, landing on Kalimdor in a land hostile to them. They will be forced to creep and set up a new land to make allies with people like the Ogres or the Tauren. His ally, My Plague, in the pink trunks will be controlling Cairn, Thrall, and Vol'jin. And this race is interesting because it functions as both a support race and a melee race. Now, what you want to do is you want to be spamming Tauren as much as possible because they are one of the strongest early game tanks. They're relatively cheap, but after that you want to focus on getting your Tauren casters up, spirit linking everything you can, and also getting your Trollcasters up for healing wards. If you can Spirit Link, Healing Ward, and then Chain Heal with your Farseers, This makes the Horde such a difficult race to dislodge from any location, and difficult to stop as well, acting as sort of a battering ram and stationary, impenetrable object, or immovable object to raise DPS. And it looks like the Night Elves and the Horde are about to run into their first conflict here. Let's go ahead and slow the game down to half speed. Anderhall already been wiped out by the Undead. I missed the first engagement there trying to explain everything, but that's okay. We're only 6 minutes in, and Teal has finally decided to make his way across the bridge to Darkshire. The Fel Horde putting pressure on our Dark Green player. Check upgrades. Doesn't seem like Teal's got any focus on his upgrades right now, and is, in fact, ignoring the creeping of Outland a little bit. Let's check on Magtheridon and see if he's been brought straight to the front line. He has. Magtheridon leaving Outland along with Kha'Zix the Supreme, not taking the time to creep, not taking the time to do anything, and this has caught Dark Green completely out of position. Now, here's the advantage and disadvantage of Teal's choice right now. Yes, he's going to get across the bridge. Yes, he's going to stop himself from a potential choke point that would have been a huge pain in the ass. He should be moving out of Blackrock at the same time, but my suspicion is he knows the dwarves are just north of him and is not comfortable moving the forces out quite yet, so he's decided to push early. However, if he doesn't creep Outland, he's not going to have the gold to maintain this push. There's like thousands, I would say, 2,000 gold worth of creep gold in Outland. And it's important to have at least a small force focused and dedicated on creeping it. Now, the Alliance has already assaulted Alterac, managing to take down one of the towers. It looks like our mages are being pushed back now by the counterattack of the Undead and the Demons. And purple and green are now in kind of a weird situation. They do have to press in against the forces still occupying Anderhall to get their ally Dalaran, and Dalaran needs to be careful, fighting a fighting retreat back to Dalaran. And not allowing Jubithos to get in the middle of your army with that wind war. And get away! Ooh, run! Alright, have we had a meeting of the minds yet between the Night Elves and the Horde? Not quite. Doesn't seem to be any conflict. Nope, I take it back. The Druids have just initiated conflict with the Warsong clan at the Warsong Lumber Camp. And it doesn't look like there's any forces here to handle that. Now, 6A is moving. He's got Grom, he's got Rexar, Rokon, none of them in position right now to stop the Warsong Lumber Camp from going in. Now, we're going to see Dark Green run in here now and try to, my guess is, aim down Magtheridon or Kha'Zix the Supreme. If he allows himself to get surrounded, Magtheridon's really not that strong. I mean, yeah, sure, later he's almost impossible to kill, but early on in the game, and there's Dark Green. You can see Teal freaking out, realizing, uh-oh, Maggie's on the front line, he's too fat to retreat. I gotta open up the line for him to get back, but he's bigger than my other heroes, and he can't move quite as quickly. Pink says, excuse me, I just want to creep. He is your enemy, you know that? Now, it looks like Pink is making overtures to the Night Elves, but I don't think that's going to go over well.
Excuse me, I'm just here to kill everyone who lives in your forest. Please don't, just leave me alone. God, you're such a bitch. These feminists, I'm telling you.
Oh, no! Whoa, my plague, really? Come on now. It's a war game, buddy. Not my fault he's flanking you quite well. Act kicking the crap out of my plague right now. My plague with 2/2 upgrades. Clearly not a noob, but clearly not a good player either, or at least not a respectful one. Heading up north, we do see Teal now under assault by the Dwarves. Dwarves are smart enough to bring in... No, actually the Dwarves have lost quite a number of units here to this fight. And they're reinforcing from their main base. Now, what I wanted to point out here is this unit called the Dwarven Engineer. A lot of Teals like to bunker up or tower up this Blackrock base, and Dwarven Engineers have a lockdown ability which stuns and silences buildings or mechanical units. Which means that a Dwarven pirate island is totally a thing I still want to do, where everyone tries to bring in their ships and I just have a million dwarves on this coastline locking them down. Like, laddie, it's a good time. Pink's forces seem to be getting whittled down as time goes on. Light blue with the Hippogriff Riders, yeah, that's going to be a problem, because Pink actually can't respond to that, can he? My Plague, where's your army? Retreating back to Orgrimmar, and I'm wondering if 6A is going to help his ally at any point. There doesn't seem to be coordination between the two, and this has allowed the Druids to take over most of the southern control points right now. Thank you, Pato, I appreciate it. Now let's go ahead and watch the movements, check the upgrades. 0-0 upgrades from Akabeth here still, and oh no. Alright, look. So I was talking earlier, I said oh no earlier because Dark Green lost his hero. He managed to lose Bolvar 4 Dragons. Who was carrying the Crown of Stormwind? Now, the Crown of Stormwind is so goddamn important. Bonethirst picked it up. I don't know why he's put it on a Demi, but the Crown will heal nearby units, give them a buff, and also give your army stat points. Now, this is going to be sick if it works out. Akabeth, I'm sorry. I'm sitting over here thinking you're a noob, and I was completely wrong. The Burning Blade Master is using Windwalk, sneaking through the Dwarven forces, and I'm wondering if they're going to try to take out the Mortar teams, start a Whirlwind right here that'll take out all the support, or even just aim down a single hero, because with their crit, Windwalk, and abilities, there's just... Oh, never mind. He just wanted to get them to their... See, I would have Whirlwind and then hit with the front line at the same time. But, you know, that's just me, Akabeth. Murden with a stun on the front line, and Magnai with his chain heals may not be enough. The Orcish units are chunky. They outweigh most other base melee units by a couple hundred points. And they have a self-bloodlust on them as well. But Murden with his stuns, his spikes, this is really good. His shockwaves. This is a good choke point for the dwarves. Ooh! And here come the humans, realizing that whether or not they've got the forces to truly win the battle, they have to help their allies. Brutal. Love it. King Varian Rin goes down again. Oh man, those Burning Blade Masters are insane. Alright, King Varian went down, Bolvar almost went down, but Teal is being pushed back by the combination of these two forces, and this could spell defeat for Teal. Once Dark Green and Yellow manage to combine their forces, most Teals are unable to deal with the sheer versatility of that army. Let's go ahead and check back up north and see if there's anything going, or check back in Kalimdor. I know the Alliance is losing this fight horribly, and I haven't even been able to focus on it as much as I wanted to. The Undead have been pushing back Capital Palace for a while now, and Dalaran, while trying to help, is unable to stop the fall of Capital City. This will give our red player access to his own crown dropped by King Tyrannus Menethil after the death of the city, and make the army that much more difficult to stop. Now, let's check in on Lone Wolf, our Elven player. I don't know what he's up to. Kael'thas is back in... He's back in Quel'Thalas, and oh no! Run! Run, Alliance Transport, or drop her off, don't die. Okay, there we go. That was close. If Sylvanas is killed by the undead forces, she turns into a Banshee. If she's killed by anyone else, not a big deal. But if it's the undead of the demons, she becomes just evil. Now, alright, we have Act and My Plague going at it with their hero groups right now. My Plague's gonna lose his whole air group if he's not careful. Come on, My Plague, get back in there. Your allies trying to rush and support you. And the Shadow Strikes doing their damage to the Wind Riders. Shadow Strikes, of course, coming from the Shadow Leaf Sentinels, the Night Elves elite unit, only 6 allowed of elite units in general. And everything's dying. Scarlet Monastery is trying to get its last upgrade out before things die. Man, My Plague is such a baby, isn't he? What a little child we've got here. If I see him in my games, I'm kicking him right out. Teal, on the back foot after his loss against the Dwarves and the Alliance, has decided to bunker up the Dark Portal in hopes that he can stop it here. I've seen choke points like this work out for Teal, where he completely destroys the enemy army. Avcadden, thanks for the raid. How's your day going, man? Welcome.
I stand ready.
No casters for Teal is a big issue. The Warlocks would be able to offer him Unholy Armor, which, if you specialize in it, and I know that sounds weird, but there are specialties and talents that you can get for races that are located in different buildings, but if he was to specialize in it, he could get plus 12 armor for no negative health. And I'm sorry, but I've always thought Unholy Armor was one of the coolest ideas for a spell that I didn't really understand the usefulness of. Oh, Anderson. This is Talon, isn't it? Talon, close your door, buddy! Lordaeron Paladins are doing their very best to try to hold off this last push into Stratholme, but it's looking a little bit hopeless. The Lordaeron Paladin about to fall. He does not Divine Shield himself, but summoning the Feral Spirits from Stratholme Castle to try to defend a little bit longer. And is OJ or Green coming back? OJ's been putting up a fight, let me say that much. And we'll look at OJ's strategy right now. Pac-Man's going for a Water Elemental focused strategy. I'm trying to see what other casters he has. Geomancer at level 2, so he has healing shield, and water elementals, and that might be all he needs. Just hydromancers and geomancers with healing shield, healing everything in the back and the summons as well, and with a near infinite summon potential on the army because of the mana regeneration on both Archmage Antonidas and Jaina. He has to be careful about sitting in range of Siege, of course, and even Plague is enough to slowly chip away at these 330 health units. A few Siege volleys would be enough to wipe it out. Looks like Stratholm is going to go down. Let's check in on Lone Wolf. His heroes are okay. Sylvanas and Kael'thas regrouping here in Quel'Tha Lost. I'd say run out and help his allies, but I'm not there, so I can't tell him what to do. Akabeth, have you slowed down or are you making another push? Akabeth's actually making another push because he sees that the dwarves are busy destroying Blackrock Spire, and if he can push out and do a little bit more damage to Dark Green in the meantime, that's going to be to his advantage. Looks like there may be a running battle going on in the Barrens as we speak as well, between the forces of the Warsong and the Night Elves. Unfortunately, Crossroads has already fallen. We have not seen Lyranval for a minute, and he's not a bad enough player to forget where he's supposed to be, so my guess is he's going to flank Orgrimmar here. Yep, okay. See, that's the pressure, and where I was wondering where Pink was. My Plague is forced to go back to back to Orgrimmar because the back entrance is about to be assaulted by the Druids.
Our allies' town needs help.
Also, Nightbot's a toothless little thing, so don't worry about that. What is going on here, and where's Dark Green's units? Where are Dark Green's units? Tempest. Oh, he went back to try to finish creeping Stranglethorn Vale, and now he realizes his main base is under assault. I would recommend closing the gate if I was him, but, you know, to each his own. The dwarves. Where are the dwarves? Alright, there they are, just leaving Blackrock. And I think two armies are about to flank the crap out of Teal. This is probably the end of our Teal player, as most of his escape routes are about to be cut off. He might be able to sneak Magtheridon down through the... No, not now. I say maybe he can sneak him down through the river, but he's going to have to be fast or block this. There we go. That's what I need to see. Running his units in, creating a block, and now Magtheridon needs to go down south and just run. Okay. I thought he broke the bridge somehow. I'm really excited. Burning Blade Masters doing their best in this choke point, but now Teal sees the error of his ways, the true danger approaching him as the Dwarven army closes in, and we have Explorers for the Dwarves, which means they can drop down temporary campfires, aka healing wards just on a cooldown. Upgrades for our yellow player, 2-1 into his range / defense, and 1-1 for our dark green player. I'm loving these whirlwinds. He is mowing through the mass units of dark green. And this is weird because I'm digging this Teal build. It's not winning, but it is an interesting concept because most of the time you'll see dark green players, myself mostly, going for a very hero-focused, hero-based group that involves just getting my elites, getting some priests, and a very specific set of units, not spamming them because I don't want to feed. And it seems that's what Akabeth is doing right now. He has a very strong core group of units. Okay, Thunderwater, Muradin dies in that choke. Look at this. Teal with the fighting retreats, doing damage, taking tolls. And Teal was smart enough to reinforce back from this base here outside of the Dark Portal. Let's see. Magtheridon, how goes your walk through Sentinel Tower?
Well, this is, if you look to your right, you'll see Sentinel Tower, constructed in the fear that someone may one day summon the Horde again. Holy shit! That's Magtheridon!
Some dude in the tower's like, oh no! Oh, come on! You're gonna fucking die! Yeah, this is great. I gotta give Akabeth credit for the hero aims, man. That is his #1 job this game, is hero aiming down everything. And what is this, guys? I do believe we're watching the end of the Horde at the moment. Orgrimmar has been completely sacked by the Night Elves. And their upgrades are at 2-2, Lyranval, Night Elves. Alright, so it looks like we can safely say the Druids and the Night Elves are going to take Kalimdor this time. Let's check in on Grey, because... Oh, he's all dead. And it's gone. He still has kind of a base. But yeah, for the most part, we're now going to watch... Does this remind anyone of the Warcraft 2 cinematic? Well, the Wyverns wouldn't. Where are you guys going? Oh, they're going to the Tome of Sargeras. They're going to land themselves on the Forgotten Isles, creep that, and try to set themselves up a little base here. Okay, they might be able to find themselves an ally or someone to commiserate with eventually. Stratholme has survived for a long time, but it looks like the undead may be about to shut it down, or not. Ice Revenants were summoned by Red to try to focus down Stratholme Castle due to their chaos damage. But Purple in the back, utilizing his clerics to net down the enemy units. You can see the focus. Stratholme Castle is being focused down by Sekun right now. And he knows he has to finish it. He has to get it down. He's lost both of his fights right now. It looks... Anders, I would recommend bringing all of these units up north right now, but Red may have actually lost his whole army. Sekun losing the fight with Pac-Man here. And the flank. The flank from the elves. Oh my god, the elves have come. The last alliance in men and elves struggle against the undead valiantly. This is kind of badass, I think. Hey there, Arclus. Good to have you. How's your day going, bud? Let's check back in on Akabeth. Oh my god, he actually got Magtheridon, Kargav, and Ren out of that fight. Okay, Akabeth, if you don't win this, I'll be shocked. This is a good player. Now, unfortunately, Akabeth has... He tried to start creeping. He got some of his units down south, but the true tragedy of this situation is going to be if the Alliance can get inside of Outland before Teal is done creeping, they're gonna get so much money. Alright, with Karazhan in control, switching control to Alliance, they should gain a secondary aura, Graveyard's Blessing, and Might of Karazhan. It has 15% increased movement speed, and its life regeneration is increased by 15%. Sure? 5%. And units on the 5% movement speed, and its life regeneration is increased by 0.5. So that's the advantage the Alliance holds, is these capturable buildings all around the map do provide aura bonuses and act as bastions of not only auras, but they can also serve as places to resurrect your heroes should you ever find yourself with only units and not a building to reproduce a hero in. And so it begins. I would recommend Teal back the... I wonder if Akka is kind of new. Because he's playing well, but he's making odd choices. His mechanics are solid, but his positional choices are odd. Does that make sense? Alright, I'm trying to figure out what's happened to the undead, and if Foe is even still around. He is kind of... Only 90 gold to his name, so he can't reinforce as much as I was hoping. 69 for our red player. Dirty birdie. And the Horde has begun reasserting themselves on the Forgotten Isles, producing a base, something relatively well defended. I love this. Oh, look at this. This is so cool. That's so cool. And in the meantime, the undead continue creeping northern. It may have been the lack of creeping in northern that kept them from reinforcing enough to finish the fight against the Alliance. Now, that's not to say that the undead accomplished nothing. They wiped out Andorhal, they took out Capital City, they got themselves a crown. Not a problem. Alright, and now the Druids are going to wipe out the last bastion here. This is a change that I really think was neat, was the alteration from Mulgore into this tiny little base that existed here into something that just looks more like the city I remember, and how difficult it was as the Alliance to get in there and kill Cairn. I remember trying to kill Cairn in World of Warcraft. Nearly impossible. I sell the Fell Magic of Necromancy. Alright, and now Teal is fucked. Like I said, Teal was playing amazingly well. He has Shyamalan. Oh, thank you for that follow. I really appreciate it. Over. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Pleasure to have you. Thanks for the follow. Okay, he's running in and out, harassing and being really weird. Oh, he sent demon units out, and now he's trying to keep his heroes in the front line while the fight goes. Fair enough, and summoned from Bolvar. Reinforce the front. Ooh, and a Magtheridon shot really freaks. And the flank from where? Exactly, I have no idea where these Teal units came from. But I can say for sure that they took a control point and are flanking the dwarves right now, giving enough of a distraction that Magtheridon's army might be able to do some permanent damage. Oh, God. Look at Act over here. Oh, no! Act's got his heroes locked down on this tiny little island. He wanted to come here and probably get the well. The Night Elves' little scouting force get their booty holes pushed in momentarily.
We're under attack!
And now the game's slowed down a little bit so that we can focus on the most important fights. The North Alliance and the Undead have kind of petered down a little bit. We're going to see either the Undead try to restart the assault with a Doom Drop in Northern Lordaeron, or the Alliance is going to attempt to assault them.
We're under attack!
Hey, Julian, good to see you, man. And the fight continues. I'm not sure I've ever seen a Kazakh stay alive this long, but he's not going to stay alive for long. Has he been killed once? Will he resurrect? No. So most demis in this game do have a reincarnation ability on a cooldown. It seems that Kazakh was killed one too many times in a row. Teal not creeping Outland is giving me an ulcer. Thousands of gold he could be spending on this defense right now, and he's just going to slowly waste away because I don't think he knows how the game works. And that's okay. His straight mechanics are flawless. Oh god. I was wrong. The other option for Red reinstating an offensive in Lordaeron is to teleport into Skolamance and then start rushing out from there again. All over. The Undead, recently defeated, bring a whole brand new fresh army to the field. And the trick is going to be seeing if the Alliance is smart enough to stick together. Hold on. Anders actually managed to get himself Scarlet Crusade. High Lord Alexandros Mogrian, Uther, and Arthas are all together. 20% attack speed on this Banner of Lordaeron carry. Alright, this is so stupid right now. See, I hope OJ is behind him or something. Where's OJ? Okay, OJ is down south. He has naval cannons. He's nowhere near the fight. Please, Anders, don't go toe-to-toe with the Undead by yourself. You're gonna lose. Lone Wolf, are you there to support him? Nope, he's back in Quel'Tha Lost, a little bit nervous, building up his forces, getting a very well-rounded army. That's not gonna help! Anders, don't do this to yourself! Stop it! Back it up, dude. Alright, after a brief attack, he realizes, maybe not. Maybe Stratholme, we just hang out. Ping, tell our allies we need some help. Lone Wolf with over 1,000 gold, Anders sitting on 226. Now remember, gold is gained by controlling the control points on the ground, and lumber is harvested normally. So this means Lone Wolf either needs to give some money to his allies, or just fucking get there and help them. One of the two, I really don't care which. Admiral Dalen Proudmoore has joined the forces of Dalaran, reuniting with his sister and allowing them to control the island nation of Kultiris and Borealis Keep itself. I am so jazzed to see what the Night Elves are going to do against the Horde. That's really my favorite part of the game. I want to see what they're going to do to punish them. Alright, Malfurion, Stormrage, Fandral, and Cenarius all still alive for the Druids, and they've just finished taking out Mulgore. Gray left. Perfect. Oh, I don't think Akabeth knows about another part of this game. Control... Maybe, I mean, they should. Dark Portal Aura Control Nexus is something that you have to capture, because if you control this on the outside of the world, then when you teleport to the inside here, you will receive this bonus, which is essentially 12 extra armor and almost 100% damage. Yeah. It's brutal. And amazing, and I don't know why more people don't use it. Here we go, Stratholme under assault once more by a massive force of undead. Are we going to see the Night Elves come from there? Oh, no. What? Come on! Lone Wolf, what are you doing? Isn't OJ even helping? I think OJ's already in Anderhall. Yes, look at this! OJ flanking the forces of Stratholme with his guys. The naval cannons are going to be very important to taking out the casters, but, Pac-Man, careful. Looks like his siege units have bracketed in the exact distance of your casters, and he's taking them out one by one. Plague in combination with the AoE attacks on the catapults should be more than enough. And now, yeah, okay, Andrews, no, get in there, fight. Your ally is right there on the front line. You really need to. And a huge group of Hydromancers murdered there by an Uberak. Come on, Green. What is Lone Wolf doing? I wonder if Lone Wolf's going Naga. This is the only thing that makes sense to me, is having this many forces piled up in your base not doing anything, is maybe he wants to go for the Naga path, and is anticipating the troll incursion as a result from that choice. Anders back on the front line. Now Grand Crusaders leading the charge, and the undead may be spread a little bit thin right now. I'm sorry, is Uther the Lightbringer doing that AoE spin right there? I think Uther the Lightbringer is making a tornado of righteousness. Divine Storm. Nearby enemy ground units will take damage over time. Yeah, so kind of like a whirlwind on the Blade Master. Teal. How goes the grouping up? And dark green and yellow. Not nearly enough forces. Akabeth still in control of the Dark Portal Control Nexus. I would say if Teal ran out right now and attacked him, he could probably win.
Our warriors.
But then again, I haven't been checking upgrades. 2-2 for our green player, and 3-3 for our dwarven. Druid's finishing up the creeping around the world, and let's check back in on our pink player, who's probably going to start leaving and going around the world to try to, I don't know, creep, level up, something, because while he does have control of this island, he doesn't have the levels he needs to open up. Oh, wow, okay. Good choice by my plague. He's going to take his units and go attack Lightstone Cathedral. This will potentially give him a lot of creep gold in the form of the Gilneas forces, but also taking it over benefits most races in one way or the other. Darius Crowley is a scary little NPC hero, though. Scary boy. And how are the undead doing now? Trying to reforce out of Skullness, continuing the assault. Really, who should be checking on at this point is Foe. Foe is just doing what? Trying to figure out. All right, so he may have landed some forces over here that Orange had to just respond to, but all I'm really seeing are Dreadlords, and that's not going to be sufficient for winning this fight.
Our forces are under attack. Our brethren's town is under attack.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know if that's his level 10 ability, but that Divine Storm is pretty badass. Oh! Also, am I seeing some kind of AoE coming from Purple's army? More, I mean, there it is. Who's doing that? That's got to be either Crusaders or Alexandros Mograine casting that straightforward fire spell. The Ashbringer wrecking the undead. Bit rigged of a hero, eh? Aw, look at all the complainers in this one. They need to add something for pink. Oh, guys, I have a suspicion I know what's about to happen, and that we're about to see a lot more cursing from our pink player.
Our forces are under attack.
Because, oh my, look at Light Blue. He remembered the insult of having his little tiny transport destroyed on the edges. You have harvested all the lumber here. You've turned the Forgotten Isles into a barren wasteland, pink. This is why the Horde's not allowed anywhere. Why the Horde can't have nice things. Small naval conflicts going on outside Dalaran, but nothing big. Let's head up north. And the two Dreadlords are just murdering. And there's the reveals. Wow, Sekun again. So many people complaining. He's got caster upgrades, he's got defense upgrades, he lost Capital City. It's not his fault that your blue ally just was not supporting you at all. If blue had supported you the way his allies supported him, you'd be in a great position. And I'm not including green in that support, because green is a nightmare over here. How much money now? 145. Nicely upgraded. And showing no interest in helping his allies outside of his own base. But assaulting Northrend is his battleship spin. Yep, here goes the orcs. The Night Elves have responded to the orcish aggression. Wow, everyone is so salty in this one. What is happening? We're all supposed to be nice and love one another, and you're all being dicks. Just a bunch of big dicks. The Horde took on Tauren to grow trees for them. Red Felix, what are you even talking about? Alright, we're going to stop this and call this part 1 right here. With the Horde freshly and losing their base, they have, however, taken control of Gilneas. They continue to hopscotch around the world trying to stay alive. Meantime, the Elves are attacking Northrend, and I think our red player is going to lead. He already left, meaning that the undead will pass away pretty soon as a whole race, and probably quickly after that, the Burning Legion. My predictions for this next bit of the fight... Oh, crap. Okay, they haven't moved in yet, and in fact, Teal may be trying to move out to attack Dark Green, which is a terrible idea. He wants to lure them inside. If he goes outside, he's just getting... I mean, I'll try it. Cluster spot.
Our town is under attack.
Oh, Mr. Plague has the Doom Hammer. Well, let's call this part 1.